This is Grant Harrison from the Waterboyz here with Tyler Newson. Tyler, what about the water?
No, that's some high quality H2O right there.
One maybe a bit more controversy.
Wow. We're back.
Says, gee, Brad, you got a lot of teeth. How many teeth you got in there? That's quite a set of teeth you have.
It's cliche, but it is a dream come true, you know.
But the main point is, we're back, we're ready to attack, and sports are back on P.E.I.
It's mayhem.
Waterboyz family, welcome, Season 4, Episode 1. We're clocking in, you're tuning in. Justin, Grant, the final season debut with these two still on the couch.
Taylor, this show will have you next year. Juddy, let's go out on a bang, hey buddy?
Yep, let's do it. Let's do it.
Little victory lap here.
For anyone that doesn't know, me and Grant are in our final semester at UPEI, and he's finishing up Holland as well. And then we plan on moving to Grant will move to Chicago. It's undecided, but hopefully Halifax. Anyway, looking forward to today's guest, Tyler Newson, who we filmed before this. You know, we're just doing it backwards for some odd reason in our fourth season. You'd think we know by now.
He was a great interview.
UOttawa Gigi commit.
Believe it's Gigi's, but we'll stick with Gigi.
I know I'm saying with Gigi.
Shout out to the Migos there.
Yeah. But anyway, we wanted to stick with the format we brought to you before Christmas break for Waterboyz Faithful.
Before we get started, another announcement. We're going bi-weekly. Not meaning twice a week, but the other bi-weekly definition meaning every other week. So we'll see you this Wednesday after Super Wild Card Weekend. And then we'll see you the Wednesday after. So that'll be NFC AFC Championship weekend.
It will be the first. It will be February 1st.
Yeah. So, also this season you'll see a very special episode we're doing, series we're doing, 3-part series on racism in sport on P.E.I. that I'm very excited to do. It's one of my projects at UPEI, so hopefully informative, a different pace here. But for now, let's get into some Justin and Pals.
Yeah, so essentially we're going to go with the same format where I'm asking the questions. Grant and Taylor are going to debate it for a couple minutes. And, you know, if you want to leave a comment in the sections, please do. It will be greatly appreciated. We'll answer with some insight. You know, hopefully you guys have better insight than us, maybe. Anyways, first topic of debate.
This guy.
Sorry.
We are the Waterboyz. The epitome of sports talk here.
Okay.
Exactly.
My bad.
Highest ethical standards.
Yes.
First off, the Raptors. They're 19-24 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're below 500. They're not the worst team. They're 100% not the best team. They need to blow it up. Would you guys agree? And if so, who do they need to trade?
I'm going with yes. I think the only two people that are untouchable in the Raptors organization right now I'll extend to 3 people that are untouchable. Nick Nurse, the coach. I don't fire him. I think he's a great coach. I don't think what many teams do is need shakeups, but every team goes through a rebuild. You don't get where you are without doing things to get yourself to championship level, and then afterwards you have to pay the price of getting to that championship level. Nick Nurse, great coach. Masai Ujiri stays as well. I think Scotty Barnes is untouchable. I think Pascal Siakam is untouchable. Mm-hmm. I think if your name's Anunoby, your name's Van Vliet, your name's Gary Trent Jr., you are shopped heavily.
So
you're putting Van Vliet on the chopping block.
I think Van Vliet has just outgrown his time as a Raptor. I don't think his prime time will fit the Raptors' next championship.
My only question, sorry, I just want to know.
It's a debate and you're jumping in before.
I just want to know if you're saying that they need a complete rebuild or like a partial rebuild.
I'm saying complete.
Okay.
I think there's only those 3 untouchables because the assets you'll bring in a market right now with Van Vliet, if you shop him, you're easily getting 2 first rounds, if not more.
Okay.
Yes, you get a lot of assets if you trade them away, but extend the untouchables to about 7 names. Okay, I've got my list here. Siakam, Trent, Anthony, the OG, of course, and Van Vliet. Even Scotty Barnes you keep. You just need
no way.
a point guard.
Scotty.
Yes, you just need a point guard. That's it. Get Trae Young. Get Trae Young. I know we said before the break that his his trade is untouchable in Atlanta, and the coach should be the one to go.
Mm-hmm.
But since our winter break, I've seen a flip. I think you get Trae Young now. You trade a fair bit away. You trade some small forwards, maybe some point guards, and you get a great player to tie up a great team.
So
You're only a half game behind from the play-in round right now.
Yes,
Which I think you could win against people like Chicago and other like that. And you're only 5.5 games behind the top 6, which should save you from the play-in round. Which is a great finish.
So my question to that is, why, if you're gonna trade for Trae Young, what are you gonna give up? Because it's a superstar player, so you're gonna give up majority of your team just doing that.
Yeah, you're a buyer at that point. I don't think the Raptors are a buyer. You got to look. Yes, they're only a half game back of a play-in spot, but why do you want that play-in spot so badly
Really?
if you're not gonna compete in the playoffs?
Realistically, do you think you're winning?
No, you make it to the playoffs. Great.
No.
Yeah, we made the playoffs. You're not going anywhere. So why are you trying to get there?
So
What are you trying to tank?
Not tank,
I
but
would
like
s-
Well,
build
those
up
are your two
assets.
options. Those are your two options: either compete or tank at this
I'm
point.
not saying tank
You're at-
hard, but I'm saying you're selling. You're not competing for a playoff spot this year.
this is
You're
just
at a tipping point right
this
now.
is just me. I don't know if you guys realize how good this 2023 draft prospect is,
Wembayama?
Yeah. But not only him, but Scoot Henderson, second overall pick. If you get a top 2 pick and you're the Raptors, I think
There's a great top 10 in this draft.
Yeah. You're not getting a top 2, though, because no team you're going to trade with is going to give you a pick of that
I'm
caliber.
saying if you blow it up
Mhm.
and you trade everyone away and you tank and you get a top 2 pick, then you're like just soaking in the glory, and it's the best thing ever. Because realistically, like both of you guys said, they're not going to win. Even if they win a play-in game, you're not going to win.
No.
They're not good enough to win. I think you blow it up, me personally. I do like the idea that Grant had there with trading for Trae Young, but I don't think it would ever work just right now.
You can't.
With
They
how
don't
much
have the
they'd have
players
to
to
give
do
up.
it.
Like, yeah, I think they have
And there's
two-
no way Atlanta wants to do that. They want to move John Collins, and that's about it.
And when we talk about trade stock in the NBA, the Raptors have the most valuable pieces to give up.
Yeah.
Now, as you informed me, Bradley Beal just waived his no trade clause and Zach LaVine. So they still have the most valuable players because they have the
Yeah.
most players to give up.
The most control time. And it's been said by multiple people, like multiple scouts, multiple analysts,
Yeah.
that the Raptors are the team to set the market this year at the deadline.
Yeah, and they're the first domino to fall.
Yeah, everyone's going to watch what they do.
So I think it's going to be very interesting when time comes. I didn't realize the deadline's like a month away already, but it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Let me ask this and we'll move on. You send Van Vliet away. Who do you get for him?
Picks and prospects.
If
Just
I'm a
You're
Toronto
going for next year,
Raptors fan.
Oh, yeah, no. You're not going for this year. If
I'm
you're
a
selling
Toronto
Van
Raptors
Vliet,
fan. Trade him away. I don't want Fred Van Vliet anymore.
I think
okay,
there's a glimmer of hope this year. I
there's
think they should go for it.
no disrespect to Van Vliet at all. I love him. I just don't want to see him wasted for us when we can get capital and assets for
No,
the
but here's-
future and see him get a chance to compete for another championship in his prime window.
Here's the thing also. Do you really want to pay him all the money that you're going to have to pay him?
No, use
And
that
he's
for free
taking up a
agency.
large part of the salary.
So, moving on to the other part of the NBA, which is, the most interesting part probably right now. 6 through 13 in the West is separated by 2 games only. The Lakers are currently 13th right now, but they're only 2 games back of 6, which is Golden State.
Lakers
And then
are
1
Dutch
through
power.
5 is separated by only 6 games. So, at the end of the season, my question is, do the Lakers make a play-in or do they make an actual playoff spot?
There's only 4 competitors in the West right now that I would be scared of from the East. Denver, Memphis, Dallas, and Golden State. Those are the 4 I'd be scared of.
That wasn't even the question.
Okay, listen, here's my answer. You say the West is tight. I'm
Okay.
saying we got a month left till the trade, where teams start to look different. We got 3 months until playoffs. I'm saying that's the focus. And when you look at the focus, there's 4 teams that I think can cause some damage.
So you
in
said
the
who?
finals.
Dallas, Golden State.
Dallas, Memphis, Denver, and Golden State.
You don't-
Denver at the top of that list.
And you don't think New Orleans is dangerous?
No Nola. No Nola. They've got 3 great players. And we saw what happened with the Lakers last year, where they had 3 good players, and their stamina dropped off the deep end come April.
I think the Lakers are a hot dumpster fire. I don't think it's the same scenario exactly as LA. I think in LA you got too many star players competing to be the center of attention. The chemistry's not there. The one move they make after another, no matter who they bring in or what they've been doing so far, it's just been one more hot garbage pile add on to the next. I do agree with your contenders though. I think John Morant is going to be he's just insane. I think Memphis is going to finally, they see his greatness and they're going to give him what he needs around him to succeed past what he's already gotten to.
So you don't think that Zion Williamson is good in the playoffs? Or
Oh, I think they make the
They're great.
playoffs. I just don't think they're going to be
they're top 3 seed right now.
McCollum, Ingram, and Zion, all great players. They're 3 great players, like I said. But, like you said, Taylor, their chemistry, not working out. I'm saying their stamina, not going to hold up.
Zion's already back on his foot
Yeah.
issues.
I get that, but they're a lot younger.
I think Golden State's the sleeper.
Mhm.
Denver and Memphis are the biggest competitors.
Denver needs a shakeup. Every year they're like, we're top seed. Every year they're like, we're out in the second round.
They're basically the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I know we had a really long break this time. Well, we enjoyed our Christmas break. But over that Christmas break, there was a special tournament that happens every year
Yo.
right
Merry
after
Christmas.
Santa Claus comes right around and
Happy
delivers
Boxing
all the
Day.
presents.
And one thing out of that tournament, it's always a given. Canada spanking the USA.
Oh, that's a shot.
6-2.
That's a shot and a half. But anyway,
Ouch.
that wasn't the biggest thing from the tournament this year. The biggest thing was the kid that might just be the next god in the NHL, Mr. Connor Bedard.
So if we have McJesus, what's Bedard gonna be?
He's Betty right now, isn't he?
Betty?
I don't know.
That is a terrible name.
Bedster? I don't know. I don't know what his nickname is. I forget. But anyway,
The con man.
this man broke basically every single Canadian record at the World Juniors.
Yep. Almost every junior record.
Yeah, the only record I don't think he has is the points in a game.
Forsberg.
Yeah.
Isn't he the record holder for...
I don't. There's some Japanese player that got 10 points, or some player that got 10 points against Japan. That was a long, long time ago. But anyway, back to Connor Bedard. Probably the greatest prospect since McDavid.
Oh, yeah, easily.
The only competition would be Matthews, but I don't think Matthews was even this big. So, my question is, it's not even about how he's going to do in the NHL. We can't predict that. But is Bedard as big in hype as what McDavid was during his draft year?
I'd say bigger.
You think bigger?
Just because they haven't seen a prospect like this in, 5 years now? I think Bedard...
7, 8.
I think Bedard is setting all these new records. He's proving how crazy he is. What he's got, I can't even remember the stat I saw for him, but he had like 60 points in like 20 games or something like that in the dub.
He's got, in his last 17 games, I think he's got 67 points.
Yeah, like are you kidding me? Like there's no, like the Regina Pats, if they added a few mild pieces around them, Memorial Cup contenders easily, WHL contenders easily.
I'll say this. I hate to agree with you, just because of how much I love McDavid as a player. I mean, look at his stats. We'll get to him later in this episode, but I agree with you. I look at when we started hearing the name Connor Bedard. Yes, a small pocket heard about McDavid in his first year of juniors. But Bedard, from the get-go, this guy was on the front page of everything.
You know this kid's name.
Yeah. You know his name, you know what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing a name to the Pats.
So, my only remark to both of those is, when McDavid was in his draft year, he would sell out stadiums no matter where they went. Bedard doesn't do that. Do you think that has anything to do with the strength of competition?
He's going to start now.
Yeah.
He's going to start selling stuff out now. He's a Canadian hero now. Look at this kid.
I personally think that he's a great talent. I don't know how great he's going to be, but
There's no doubt that people are going to see like the Regina Pats play wherever they go to see this kid play.
yeah.
I think the difference is that is look how easy it is to watch junior hockey now. Like, side note, watching Connor McDavid play, you had to either go to the game or live in the city where he was playing at on local access TV. Now, Bedard's games are on TSN, some on Sportsnet, all this coverage he's getting, and especially the push to the WHL final and the Mem Cup, he's going to be on every TV channel there is.
Yeah.
It seems like
Regina's not the strongest in
not
the
strongest,
dub, but
they're definitely a shot or shooting chance because they have Bedard.
can we also talk just a quick second talking about the dub? The Olin Zellweger deal, did you see that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
stupid.
4 first rounders.
No, it's 5 first rounders, 14 picks for 2 players. 2 players.
Holy,
It's crazy.
moly.
5 I get that you're trying to win this year, but why are you giving a team 5 first round picks?
Well, they're not only trying to win this year, but they're
Well,
hosting the Mem Cup,
I
so
get-
they're pulling a Sea Dogs as of last year. But hopefully,
They don't even need to. They can just suck at the Mem Cup. But I get what you're trying to do because they have Stankoven.
Yeah.
But moving on to the special player that he is, McDavid. He now is I don't know if you recorded a point last night. Probably did record a point last night, but Friday night he got to 82 points in 44 games, which meant if he didn't record a point for the rest of the season, he'd still be a point per game player.
He's got 83 points.
He's got 83 points, so he got a point last night.
Yep.
So McDavid's just on another level. Do you think this year? From previous years, or do you think he's still doing the same?
I think he just keeps elevating his game. No matter what year it is, he's like, I'm going to go out there and do some McJesus stuff right now. And you think I'm good? You think the NHL's seen scoring? I'm going to show you real scoring.
Yeah, because he's not even known as a scorer, but this year it's becoming like he's
Yeah, he's just.
winning,
Would you see that magic backhand the other game?
yeah, and he's in the scoring race lead. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about that right now.
It's hard to go against Bedard and against McDavid, so this is why I'm agreeing with you on the last two. But I'll add this. The video that surfaced from McDavid at practice in the skating drill against, I don't know who it was, but just beat him by, probably quarter of the ice and finished skating backwards against a guy going full sprint forwards, and he's still beating him. Anyway, I'll say this. It takes a very great player to make the teammates around him better. It takes Connor McDavid to embarrass the HE double hockey stick out of his own teammates and belittle them. That is the best player in the NHL right now.
I think he's doing that to be like, hey, you see what they're giving me to deal with here in Edmonton? Give me some players that'll compete for
It's
a
a
cup.
little bit of that. It's
Yeah.
a little bit of that. Yes, he wants a cup.
I got a
Did
buddy named
anyone-
Leon
but I mean-
Draisaitl, and that's it.
Did anyone see his socks?
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were going to talk about that.
Yeah, he kind of has a pair of socks. If anyone hasn't seen it, maybe we'll get the picture in here. That he's had since basically draft night.
Yeah. Hey, CCM, you're telling me you won't make new socks like these for Connor McDavid? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing with your company?
The other thing I want to bring up about McDavid is this is just hypothetical, honest to God, probably nothing to do with anything. But do you think he might feel a little bit of pressure from what Bedard's doing in juniors?
No, not at all.
Yes.
So he has to kind of up his
yes,
game.
he's feeling a little pressure.
What do you
Like,
mean?
like
He's
what
an
I mean,
NHL
what I mean,
superstar.
what I
He's worried
mean
about
by
a
that,
kid.
what I mean by that is, do you think he's seeing all these types?
Oh, I think he's seeing it and he's noticing it, but I don't think he's like, oh my god, shaking in my boots. I think he's like, well, that kid's gonna be good. I'm excited to play against him.
I think it's full on respect. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think a little part of him is like, man, he might in 3-4 years he might be better than me.
McDavid knows he's McJesus. I don't think
But
he's
do you
too
think
worried.
He sees that in his
do you
rearview
think-
mirror.
Do you think he sees Bedard right now?
No.
He sees Bedard in that rearview mirror.
It's gonna be a him and it's basically gonna be Crosby and Ovechkin, him and Bedard. Do you think?
Oh yeah, I can totally see that.
So do you think
Bedard
he's-
needs to get up and go quick though, because McDavid's going to be up there in years when Bedard starts hitting the peak in the show.
So do you think he realizes like, all right, I gotta find new gear. I gotta step it up.
I think he's excited for the competition. I think he's excited at the possibility that there's going to be someone entering the league that can compete the same level that McDavid competes at. Because you have a guy right now that you're getting, like you said, the most talked about since McDavid, since Matthews. You're seeing a kid do things that people haven't seen in years, and I mean years. And it's exciting for the game, and I think McDavid recognizes that. I don't think he feels any pressure at all. I think he's like, I'm McDavid. I think we all know the type of player he is. He's like Jonathan Taves, Captain Serious type stuff. That goes out there, plays godly level hockey, and then gets off the ice and he's like, yep, it's just what I do. Yeah. So I think he's like like you said, he's ready to respect Bedard. He's excited to see the kid get into the NHL, but by no means do I think he's at all scared for Bedard to come into the NHL.
That's just me playing devil's advocate. Like, just I know it's crazy to think about, but like maybe it might be in the back of his mind. Just playing devil's advocate, like you never know. It could be. It could be a factor.
I agree with you. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
I think the next topic is, well, we already know what the next topic is. Boston's just running away from the competition this year.
Yep.
They got all four lines rolling. They got
11
all
four.
6 D rolling. They probably have the best tandem in the league between Swayman and Yulmark. Personally, Swayman I thought was going to be better than what he is this year.
Yeah.
I think everyone did. But just in general, this team coming into training camp or into the year, you really didn't expect this. And
No, not at all.
do you think they're the cup favorites right now?
No, not at all. It's I'll wait and see what they do with the deadline, but I think there's a lot more complete teams out there that are just not riding the hot streak that Boston's riding.
Before Grant interrupts, because I can see that he's pretty flustered over there.
Yeah.
What teams are you talking about?
Teams I'm looking for at the deadline right now, I'm looking for we say it every year, the media says it every year, I'm looking for Toronto to add. I think they have the forwards, the goaltending, defense always the question, maybe bottom six wingers always the question for Toronto. I'm looking for the Leafs to add. I'm really looking for the Avalanche to add a big name too. I'm looking for Florida's been really disappointing. I'm looking for
As a
the
Montreal fan, I just have to say, great.
Yeah. I'm looking for New York teams to add a lot. I don't expect much from the Islanders. I'm looking for the Rangers to start picking up a few key pieces here. The Kings are really good too right now. And the Golden Knights are obviously always looking to do something Vegas-y.
I can't believe you don't think Boston's complete.
Boston is in that conversation, and yes, I think they're going to add stuff at the deadline. When it comes to the playoffs, do I think they're Stanley Cup Finals appearance or favorites? No.
Okay.
Sorry. Call me Toronto because I just choked around April too. Taylor, Toronto, Avalanche, Rangers, and Kings. I picked those teams out there.
Kings are low level. They're just really hot right now.
Yeah, let's get rid of the Kings because I think this is a lucky streak on their part.
Okay.
Deadline, of course, let's see. They might pull out a miracle, but I don't know who they're trained to get that miracle and stay relevant. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Rangers, yes, they do have some great talent, but
You got a lot of great talent, a lot of prospects.
they need another 6 months together before they're a great team. I don't think they naturally have that gel, right? Avalanche, they're in a hangover, and Toronto, like I said, they're just an unlucky team.
The only team that I have to agree with or disagree with Grant on is the Avalanche. I think the Avalanche are just hurt.
Yeah, McKinnon's
Just
still
bad.
out.
Avalanche
Just
do have the injury bug right now.
Mhm.
Same way New Jersey had it at the beginning of the year. But
Devils are also a team to be looking at.
I will say Devils,
Mm.
surprisingly, not in attendance, but
No.
on the ice.
I forgot about
They're not too
Carolina
bad.
too. Go Hurricanes.
Carolina, but here's
you
the
guys
thing.
forgot about two teams. though.
Here's the thing. 1 second. Boston, 9 points ahead of Carolina, I think. And then 11 points ahead of Toronto.
Yeah.
Nobody's even close to them in the conference. So, yeah, I think it comes down to the tandem. Like you said, Juddy, there's really nothing else in hockey that compares to a just shut-down team. And we saw it in Winter Classic. We saw it all first half of the season. We'll see a ton of all-stars from Boston. and I think it's Boston's year.
So the only other thing about the NHL that I want to ask is this year's NHL deadline for trades. Is it going to be, from what we've been hearing, it has the biggest names in so many years. Like, I mean, not just like a couple big names. It has 10 big names. Bo Horvat's on there. Erik Karlsson's on there. Chychrun's on there. Ryan O'Reilly's on there. Patrick Kane's on there. Jonathan Toews is on there. Tarasenko's on there. There are a lot of good players.
2 guys that are coming off that list, I think. Patrick Kane.
You don't think all of them are coming off?
No, Patrick Kane is battling that injury bug. I don't know. A, we don't even know if he wants out of Chicago 100% yet. And B, with that injury bug looming, he's got knee problems. Now he's got hip problems.
Mm-hmm.
What are teams going to want to give up for this kid? Or for this man who's 33 years old now with a big contract and injury prone all of a sudden with issues. And another name, I'm really struggling to see Karlsson coming off the block.
What?
Unless the Sharks are willing to take less than what they've been asking for.
What the Sharks apparently are asking for, or reportedly are asking for, 3 first-round picks and they'll retain 18% of the contract, which is essentially bringing the contract down to $9 million AAV, annual average salary. Still a pretty penny.
Yeah, no. 3 first-round picks for Erik Karlsson, no thank you. I don't think any team is going to give up that.
Kane's going off that list real easy. I think Arizona's going to be the new Chicago. I think Arizona's going to tank for Bedard, and they're going to get him. Just the way Arizona's storybook, they always find themselves in that position. And more recently, too, I think to get out of the Mullet Marina, they want Kane teaching Bedard how to play NHL hockey.
What? You think Patrick Kane is going to go to Arizona?
Why would he go to Arizona? Let me just ask.
I don't even think Arizona should get Bedard. I think Biz Nasty
What do you like?
can
Where?
shove
Why
that
would he
opinion up
go?
his booty.
Why
you
would
play
he
40
go?
games in the NHL, Biz, and you think you know what the hell you're talking about?
Wow, this is a big rant. Go Adam.
Yeah, no, Biz.
But-
I'm sorry, Biz and Ryan Whitney. There's no way Connor Bedard needs to end up in Arizona. A, horrible organization. Get the hell out of Arizona. Get some actual fan base that cares about this team. Go to a city that loves hockey. You're in the desert. You play 40 games in the NHL. You think you know what you're talking about? But Bedard goes to Arizona. His career's over before it starts. Look at Clayton Keller. Anyone who's in Arizona that's worth a damn needs to get the hell out of there. They need a new city. They need new fans. Arizona is an awful organization. You two have no idea what you're talking about with Bedard. Get out of Arizona and get a real hockey opinion.
Wow. I think this episode's over. We'll see you next week.
What?
This is like, what's going on here? What's going on?
No. Sit back down. Sit back down.
This is crazy. This is absolutely insane.
Yes. Arizona is at rock bottom. You know what they say about rock bottom? Only one way to
There's
go.
nowhere to go but
Why
down
would you
for
ever
Arizona. They're going to dig to
trade
China at
for
this point.
a guy other than taking on
Chicago's made some terrible decisions in the past, and I'm saying this is their last.
Okay,
There's no way.
Anyway,
Patrick Kane has
moving
to
on,
approve a
moving
deal in
on,
Arizona. You
moving
think
on.
he's approving to go to
Yeah, he's
Arizona?
not approving. He's not approving.
Hey
He's
Patrick,
not
do you want to
gonna
go to
serve
Arizona?
that
Do I
team.
want to go to a city who plays in a
Moving
college
on.
arena with
Moving
no
on.
future? No, thank you.
Moving on. In light of the NCAA football national championship game, we are giving Grant 72 seconds to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs because that was the total score added up. So go ahead.
Absolutely insane. Let me just say that. You see that in high school when you put a massively crazy competitive Div 5 high school against, some town of 370 people. This is an insane score, not only from college football, from football in general. There was a 223-0 score, and I believe Georgia was on the giving end of that. So they have a history of this. People should be scared. I know I've got limited time left, so I'll say this. I don't know who can stop them besides age and Father Time sending all these great players to the NFL draft.
Except for
Is that it?
25-year-olds.
That son of a bitch, Uga. I love that mascot. How much time do I have left?
You have 3, 2,
Stetson bet.
One.
Go Horned Frogs!
Yeah, Biz, I'm coming for you.
Giants beat the Vikings
What?
31-24.
This is a live reaction show.
No.
We're taping while we're watching the game.
Oh
Anyway.
my God, I hate sports betting, bro. Ugh.
Clip that. 2 clips that we have to do to
Did
make
you have the
Instagram.
over?
I had Minnesota to win. That's 2 pro lines that went shit today because Jalen Waddle and his backup quarterback, whatever his name is. Do you know his name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Skylar Thompson.
Yes. Screw you, Skylar Thompson. Throw to Jalen Waddle more. I needed I had over 3.5 catches. You found him 3 times. You couldn't have put one more in there. And the Minnesota Vikings. Oh my God, Kirk Cousins. It's time to get rid of the Thuggins because my word, you lose to the Giants and you ruin my pro line. The only one I had left.
Hey, I told you that the Minnesota Vikings were not a great team. But anyway, that brings us to our last topic of discussion today on the show, the NFL. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the last couple of weeks in my Patriots because that's absolute horse crap. But what we are going to talk about is Super Wildcard Week. And Trevor Lawrence is still undefeated on a Saturday, first of all. Second of all, the Buffalo Bills almost blew the biggest,
Narrowly escaped a loss by a team that shouldn't even be there.
I want to say one of the biggest upsets in NFL history if it would have been completed.
Only by 3, too. I mean,
Yeah.
you're upset about Giants beating the Vikings.
And currently, in about an hour's time or 30 minutes' time, the Ravens
Bengals
take
are
on
gonna
the
spank.
Bengals, and the Bengals are probably
Bengals are going to spank.
win that.
The only thing up
for
for debate is Bucks or Cowboys.
yeah,
Bucks.
The Cowbucks.
the Cowboys. Wow, that's a good one.
I think I'm taking America's team. The Cowboys.
So, giving you picks for that, and then to wrap the show up, we're gonna give our Super Bowl picks.
Or pick, give me the game and I'll play the pick.
The Dallas.
Okay, yeah. I'm going with the Buccaneers for 2 reasons. A, because Dallas always chokes in the playoffs. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know when the hell to do it. Dak Prescott last year, 13 seconds left. Hey, I'll run a play and take a knee. Ooh, that's going to work.
What's your second reason?
Second reason, Tom Brady.
That's a great second reason.
Tom Brady. There's no way this guy, no matter how many struggles he faced this season, there's no way the GOAT goes out first round. I am
He's
sorry.
7-0 against Dallas.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's not leaving the playoffs first round. That's not happening.
One reason the Cowboys are winning this thing. Number 1, Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady, playoff, he doesn't have much to throw to right now. Yes, he's got Mike Evans, a great receiver. But they haven't been putting up the numbers they have in the past.
You want to speak up and
That's
say
what
that a little
keeps-
bit louder? Just because I want people to understand what you're saying.
I don't think Tom Brady's beating the Cowboys right now.
You're insane.
Call me crazy.
You're
Call me
insane.
crazy. I'll
Dak-
take that title.
I'm taking Tom Brady over Dak Prescott for
Every day of the week.
it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying Tom Brady is worse than Dak Prescott. I'm saying Dak has more talent in the run game and in the wide receiver.
Playoffs are a different beast, though, man.
That
And
is
Brady
facts.
has
That is
proved
facts.
time and time again.
That's
And
facts.
I'm not
He is the
saying-
beast.
You can't-
Brady
you
is the
can't go
beast.
against-
I'm
And
not saying-
Dallas.
I'm not saying
can't go
Dak
next-
isn't choking. Dak's choking next round. Not this.
Dallas
So,
chokes this round against the
you're-
Bucks
you're-
because
Your playoff, super wildcard weekend. Taylor's is obviously destroyed today.
yeah.
But who is your Super Bowl matchup and winner?
Oh, also one more reason because the Bucks win this. Rob Gronkowski is going to sign 2 minutes before the game starts to the Bucks, number 69. So there goes your that's receiving.
Well, that's an eligible receiver number. So anyway, my
KC pick. So we obviously know Kansas City's going to the Super Bowl.
Kansas City's beating the Bengals. Revenge game. 4.0. Is it 3.0? Yeah, revenge
They're
game
beating the
3.0.
Bengals in the Super Bowl.
No.
Okay.
Hold
okay.
up. They're beating them in the
Okay.
championship.
Okay.
Give me a second, Chuck.
I was just wondering
This isn't
that for a
season
second.
1, episode 1 anymore. I know my conferences,
Okay.
divisions.
Okay, I'm just making
Okay.
sure.
Anyway, 49ers losing to Philly. Philly, Kansas City, Super Bowl. Gotta go with the Chiefs. Gotta go with Patty Mahomes.
Interesting.
If it's Bengals that go to the Super Bowl, they'll Philly all the way.
Okay.
I'm going Bills are coming out of the AFC.
After narrowly escaping Miami?
Bills are going to come into the AFC.
Look at the
division
teams.
rival. Just
Yeah.
let's think about that.
But
first.
here, look at the teams that narrowly escaped the Super Wild Card Weekend or Wild Card Weekend. Look at the teams that lose in division.
Miami's good, other than their quarterback was. Like, Miami's still a good team.
Miami probably would have won that game if they would have
The Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know about that.
Yes, I do.
But anyway, yeah, I'm going Bills for the AFC. They're going to defeat the, let's say, Bengals in the AFC Finals. I'm
They
going
can't play the Bengals.
Okay, the Chiefs in the AFC Finals. Is
Yeah.
that right? Okay,
Yes.
there we go. Bills are going to get their revenge game against the Chiefs in another championship in Atlanta for some reason.
I could see
good.
Josh Allen going with like 12 seconds on the clock instead of 13.
Yeah, right. And then I'm going to go with, in the NFC, I'll go with Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly are going to make it to the championship game, and I think they're going to take on the 49ers. I'll give Mr. Relevant the benefit of the doubt there.
Brock Purdy. Player.
Philly over San Francisco, though. I don't know. 49ers, I'll put them in the finals.
All right, let's hear the pick.
All
Let's
right.
get the pick.
Super Bowl champions, Buffalo Bills over the 49ers.
Okay, so I'm not even gonna give you guys AFC and NFC matchups. We're just gonna go straight to the pick. Give me Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP.
What?
Niners win. Season's over. We got the newest gem in the NFL. Start of another great career.
I'll give you
Call
this.
it there. See you later, guys. We're done. Was he like one of your favorite players?
One of my favorite players I actually watched a lot of film on was Ray Lewis. So
Nice.
that's where kind of the play style came from.
Okay.
Get the
Got
emotion.
And
Gotta love that intro to the field as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, fans, we're back with Tyler Newsom, the man at the intro to this season and last season, well, about halfway through last season.
Yeah.
Tyler, welcome to the Waterboyz, first guest of season 4. How are we feeling?
Pretty good. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
How does it also feel to be like the intro video person?
Feels pretty phenomenal, actually. I love it a lot. It's pretty funny.
A little bit of stardom there.
Yeah.
A little celebrity status around the island. People see it just like, the god of the Waterboyz.
All right, Tyler, we're starting off hot here today. So when you were younger,
Mm-hmm.
when did football really become big in your life?
Probably whenever I was 12, so grade 7.
Mm-hmm.
So my older brother really got me into it. He's 2 years older than me, so he started playing before me, and I saw him having a blast and was like, put me in there. So
Does he still play? Or?
no, he doesn't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So, started off playing what, 6-man?
I think we were actually playing 10 on the island at that point.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started playing at a Cornwall with
Yeah.
the Timberwolves, and that's where I continued on through high school with a little bit of turns there close to the end. But no, I started there, and I started at playing free safety because I was a skinny kid that was scared to hit.
What, just didn't have the hands for receiver or what?
No, I was just scared of everything. First year playing football, so
Yeah.
I was just
Did you start off flag or, sorry? Did you
Yes.
start off flag or?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
started off with flag, so that was kind of the easier transition.
Yeah.
I started playing that whenever I was 10. So,
Okay.
See, you've been hitting the gym a bit since those days.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, that first season, was it just just to be out there, basically?
Yeah, but close to the end of the season, I was an actual kind of key player of the defense. Just at the start of the season, I think I was more or less scared of hurting somebody, because taking just runs at people and just learning how to properly tackle and not just throw myself at them.
Yeah.
But no, close to the end of the season, I got a bit more technically sound and started to actually fall in love with the game a whole lot. So.
Yeah. Well, once you do make that technically sound step,
Mm-hmm.
you also need to make the I'm a human missile.
Yeah.
Torpedo step.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bulldoze this guy.
Exactly. It's not about hurting your opponent,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
but you do want to get that physical edge on them. So when did that physical edge for you click?
Honestly, to be completely honest, it was probably whenever I went over to Moncton High, my grade 11 year, to play over there. So I didn't have an opportunity to play due to league rules. I had to sit out a year, and that was my grade 11 year. So, but I still got to practice, and I still, during training camp, that was my first time ever playing 12-man football. But like over there, it was like very serious and really kind of like more in depth. And a lot of the coaches like had a high expectation of their players. So like you almost had to come in like physically ready to like take a lot of stuff, and like a lot of the drills we did kind of like enforce that. And like our big thing defensively is like aggression, so imposing your will on like the other players, stuff like that. So but yeah, no, that was probably like grade 11 year. Even though I didn't get to play in the season in practice, I was probably whenever it kind of like switched.
So you got like all the development, but without any of the pressure of the actual game days.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, and learning the 12-man games.
Yeah.
So
I know there was a little bit of confusion there when you did go to Moncton High and try to play over there, but like you ended up not being allowed to play, and then you came back to P.E.I. for your grade 12th year, and then we had former high school players on, Lucas Doucette and Zach Blood, actually our first ever episode, and you were 1 year out, but they said playing against you was just, they didn't know what to do because you were a monster out there.
Yeah, no, those guys are really good athletes. They're really good guys too. But yeah, no, coming back playing 6-man because of COVID. So I was originally like supposed to stay over there, but my grade 11 year there, whenever COVID hit in March, I just came home, and then as soon as they said the island had football and over there didn't, I was just stuck on the island, played 6-man.
Yeah.
So.
What was the biggest thing for you to adjust from going from grade 11 where you developed in 12-man back to coming to the island and having to play 6-man because of COVID?
It was tough because like I didn't want to stop like kind of developing. I felt like I finally had like a set sort of like position that I could like critique and like really dive deeper into the game and stuff. And like coming home, like obviously like yeah, like it's nice like to be with family and stuff and like your friends playing, but like over there it was just so much like better football oriented kind of schedule, whereas coming back it was like a step back. I still enjoyed it, like I still loved it, but like I didn't get almost the full exposure that I wanted to as my senior year.
Do you feel like that hurt you coming out of high school?
Oh, it definitely hurt me. It hurt a lot of my exposure. Like with Moncton, they had a lot of connections with the AUS and a lot of connections with OUA as well. But no, leaving and not staying definitely hurt.
That's the problem, is you're used to expanding not only your playbook but your game as well, and especially with the men on the field. So when you narrow that field from 12 to 6 as a linebacker, it's got to be easier on you somewhat.
Yeah, like originally I was a DB actually in Moncton.
You were still playing DB in Moncton.
I was playing half. Yeah. I wasn't even playing linebacker.
When did you start playing linebacker?
Last year. No, like I was gonna be, so in training camp they didn't really know where to put me because I was like around 190, 200. So like they thought I could play like a few different like positions, but like because I kind of have like a free safety background, they really liked me at DB because zones came kind of easier to me. I could feel out receivers a bit more and like kind of find the open space. So they liked me there, and I got really, really good at it and was on the depth chart and ready to go for week 1 whenever we said we couldn't play. But no, I was a halfback. So and then coming home for my grade 12 year, I played quarterback. And
yeah, I remember.
And linebacker. So I was playing both ways. So it was really
quarterback and linebacker.
But like 6-man linebacker year essentially.
What kind of coach decides to put a quarterback in a linebacker position?
It's P.E.I. football. It's like your athletes, right?
How far could you throw?
Probably like 50 yards. But that's muscling it though. Like accuracy is like
well, yeah, like accurate throw like 30 yards maybe.
Accurate throw, yeah, 30.
30.
That's still a decent dart.
Oh yeah.
But like for 6-man too, it was all man to man. So like defensively, if I was like say playing like a linebacker position, it was more or less your man up on like a slot or your eyes on your shadowing the quarterback, or your man up on like a tight end type of thing.
With 6-man, if you miss your tackle, it's essentially like a 30-yard gain at the minimum.
Yeah.
So how hard is it, like, with that? I know it's easier in terms of open space and, like, for offensive players, but for a defensive player, is it harder?
100%, because like you said, you miss a tackle, it's either a huge gain or it's most cases if you're dealing with like a really fast athlete, it's a touchdown, easy. So like that's whenever I really enjoyed 6-man in that aspect because it was like technically sound. So like you had to like break down. You couldn't just like throw yourself at somebody because like you gotta take him down, right? You can't just throw your body weight at him, bounce off, and then he's gone. So you have to really wrap up and keep your feet moving.
After high school, like you said, you didn't really get the exposure that you wanted, so you ended up just staying at home and going to Holland College. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And in your first year, how would you describe it?
It was pretty crazy, to be honest. There's a lot of ups and downs. Defensively, like we're a really young team. Like we had that senior presence in the DB core, and like I said, like my first year, really actually playing 12-man football and playing linebacker at the same time. So I played more of like a Sam role. So I was like a box safety. So I still kept my DB skills, and with the change in DC, like I think with one game left in the regular season, a lot of things changed. We were man up most of the season, and we're taking our licks. And then close to the end of the year, we switched to a little bit more zone, and we found our groove through that. But it was a good experience. Like it was really crazy. Like a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, switching from man to zone is completely a different game of football.
Yeah,
just on every aspect, it is a different game entirely. So, with one game left in the year, A, why? B, how'd it go?
It actually went really well because looking at our defense, we were a zone team from day one. We should have never have like really been doing man as much. Like we still did zone. Like don't get me wrong, we weren't man up all game because you just can't do that.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's just physically not possible. But no, so like we just essentially it actually worked pretty well because like I said, the senior sort of DBs kind of led the way for that. But our interior and our sort of like linebacker core was definitely really young and like raw at that. So.
Well, you need a lot of communication when you're going to primarily zone. So, I mean, how did the team gel?
The team actually gelled like fairly decent towards the end of the year. Like every single game we seemed to like get a bit better to what we wanted to do. We didn't actually, I feel like we didn't reach like our full potential per se that year just from having so many new guys. But no, like other than that,
That was the year, like last year I remember you guys had to really reach out to the community and try and get players to come out in the first place, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we opened it up to the community, and we actually opened up to the community again this year too, due to lack of players, and unfortunately like a lack of recruiting there last year kind of was that. And then in camp only having like 30 guys, 35 guys was pretty rough.
Really? That's gonna hurt you.
So
talking about lows from last year, was one of the hardest football moments of your career so far was the UMB game?
First game?
Like, not the first, the like, playoff game.
The playoff game?
Yeah.
Probably. That was probably a tough one. I think that was like the best sort of game that I've ever really like played wise. Like I played like playing with confidence and like trusting in my abilities and kind of like taking control a bit more. But that was a really good game, and it was heartbreaking to see the outcome like how it happened. But like realistically, we caught our stride at the perfect moment. So like taking the good. Taking the good out of it, we did pretty well. We did our best. So
There's the low point.
Yeah.
Let's get to the high point. Out of the whole football career, you had to pick one moment, maybe two. What are they?
Oh, honestly, probably committing to UOttawa to be completely honest. But like that was like the biggest thing, like outside, I guess outside, but not really football. But like the biggest thing in football is probably, I hate to say it, but like the Dow semifinal game
This year
was probably like one of like the greater, I guess, feelings I had going into that game. Obviously, it didn't go our way, but I feel like just gelling with the guys in that game was like probably like the best moment, and like pretty much saying to my other linebackers like we gotta like get a stop here or else we're gonna lose, and then going out and doing it was just huge because we had so many turnovers that game, and it was we balled out. So
Yeah. So let's go back to UOttawa here.
yeah,
Because you signed with Chris Drew
yes,
and Tyler Hobb, right?
Tyler Hobbs signed at Acadia.
He's
Yeah.
going to Acadia.
Yeah.
Pardon me. But still, you're going to UOttawa. The
Yeah.
GGs. Justin.
Yeah.
He calls them the Geekies.
No, I was making fun of the Migos song. Like,
Oh.
like they're not making fun of the Migos song, but like they say Geekies instead. So
Yes,
I
it's
was,
a 12th grade early
Yeah.
on.
yeah,
Anyway,
sure.
GGs. What was the recruitment like process going out there?
It was honestly like really smooth. Like probably like out of the few schools that were like I was considering, they were like the most like
Interested?
interested. Yeah, 100%. They would like they would always talk to me. They'd always like text me and stuff. Like different coaches too. Like wasn't just a recruiting coordinator all the time, but they made sure like to stay in touch. And we were actually talking about going for a visit before the summer. So
Yeah.
like before the season even started, I had like an official visit already sort of lined up. So we just talked throughout the summer and kept talking throughout the year, and they didn't even see this year's like highlight tape. And whenever we went on the visit, they offered us being Christian. So
Really?
without seeing this season's highlight
year's.
tape, yeah.
So, what other schools was interested in you?
So a few of the AUS schools. So Santa Fe after first year was offered us
Who?
me and
who's-
Christian.
Yeah. Okay. That's
A
what
spot on the team, so like no money involved, just like a roster spot. And me and Christian were actually like seriously considering on leaving Holland after the 1 year, but me and him had our eyes set on something a bit higher. Not saying that level isn't high at all, but we felt like we could definitely have a breakout year, and we wanted to ball out with the guys. So
Yeah. You would be with your former teammate there at Santa Fe, Stephen Sears, right?
yeah, he signed there. Yeah,
I can't think of many Holland players that are at Ottawa.
yeah, no,
It's definitely a step up going to OUA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, and
I
that's exactly what me and Christian were wanting, the highest level possible.
Yeah.
Do you feel? Was there any Western schools in the mix, or?
Not really. A lot of them were just like fill out my recruitment form, and I filled out a lot of the schools'
Mhm.
recruitment forms like 5 times, and not a whole lot of like interest back or anything like that. But
Well, Ottawa, I mean, they just lost in the semifinal, national semifinal,
mhm,
to conference rival Western, right?
mhm.
So, have you been talking with coaches, what's going to be the difference next year compared to last year? How can you beat Western?
Essentially, we haven't really been talking about that too much. To be honest, they're more or less.
Trying to get you there first.
Yeah. To be
Well, you're already there now.
And they have a lot of. They have 2 linebackers leading. Their 2 linebackers are studs. James Peters, CFL, NFL prospect. He's a huge sort of guy that they're trying to not replace, but just
Fill that hole.
yeah, exactly. And then their starting Mac, he's leaving as well. Probably looking at like CFL maybe, like if that's an opportunity for him. So they're just in the recruiting process and trying to find guys. And
So do you feel like you can possibly, like, usually if you're going from, like, let's say Holland College League to OUA,
mhm.
you're basically going to usually redshirt a year, essentially. Do you feel like this is a perfect opportunity to maybe get a starting role on a team like this?
100%. Like I feel like I could come in and make an impact right away. That was obviously one of like my main decisions to make was I wanted to go someplace where I could do that, and whether it's on special teams or getting in a rotation at the linebacker position, I feel like I could definitely come in and make an impact, and that's why to come in and make an impact, me and Christian would like to get out there as soon as we can in the summer and start working with the team and really getting like an inside scoop of the playbook, learning like how to adjust to a much higher level and continue thriving from there.
You said much higher level. What do you think the biggest difference? I know it's hard to say just sitting here on a chair in the middle of January.
Well, I'm sure you've watched tape too on what you're going into there. Yeah.
It would definitely be the speed.
There's just the speed of the game.
The speed of the game would definitely be it. Like they have so much talent in the OUA. It's crazy. And physicality wise, like
you don't see a problem?
I don't really see a problem.
I don't see a problem either.
With that as well. It'd just be definitely the speed of the game and how to use your physicality while playing fast pace and getting in position and more or less technique wise.
How to catch up the strategy to the speed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, with that, let's hear a prediction. Do you think you're going CFL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
Where would it,
You want to, but do you think you are?
I think I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, at Ottawa, I think I have a decent chance.
And with 3 years to play there,
I have 4 years eligibility. Technically.
4 years still. So, I mean, you got 4 years to build a resume up there.
Yeah, and the amount of connections they have, that was another key point in the recruiting process.
That's like the center of the center of the universe for Canada.
Their linebacker coach Brad Miller coached the NFL, CFL, played CFL, NFL. He's a linebacker coach and special teams coordinator. So, and he has so many connections. The head coach coaching the CFL for a number of years. Their DB's coach. All their coaches have a lot of pro level experience, and that's how they treat their program. They treat it like a pro level team. Yeah. So like that's what you expect, right? Whenever you go in there, that expectation is that you're a pro, and you have to act like
be treated as such.
Yeah, exactly.
So your, I guess, UOttawa days are ahead of you. But if you do make it to the CFL or NFL, whichever one, which is the team that you would prefer? I know
I was going to ask that question.
Or like if you had to pick a team
if
right
I had
now,
to pick,
like just
going to the prairies or sticking in like with the Argos. What do you like?
Probably Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah. What? Why? Is there a certain reason or just...
He's a big Blue Jays fan, obviously. He wants to be at the home.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, hard to afford a Toronto apartment on CFL.
You don't know about that. We'll see. They could get a bump here. Yeah. Anyway, I want to go to your powerlifting, just in general. The first thing I want to address is why the Instagram name TSN Lift.
Those are my initials, TSN.
We got that follow the other day. I was like, oh my god, someone from TSN followed us.
Yeah, so those are my initials, TSN.
So it's like I was looking at that a little bit like in the past and now and like just like thinking, why is it TSN Lift? Like, is he trying to get on TSN? Like on TSN or something?
Yeah, no, those are my initials.
Just a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
So when did this become like a passion on the side for you?
It was probably it was in high school, my grade 12 year, and sort of over COVID as well. Sort of like nothing to do, stay inside, work out, and really fell in love with working out, and especially going to my grade 12 year, not having the exposure I wanted to show like I can physically like handle myself in the weight room, and I'm always putting in work. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I followed every single coach, like in Canada, pretty well, on that Instagram page, and that was it. And I would tag coaches in my lifts to see if they would actually, like, you know what I mean, look at me. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I was filling out recruitment forms.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
And sending out mass emails at 1 a.m, so that would be the first one that they'd see in the morning whenever they wake up, type thing. So, and that was honestly, that that's kind of what inspired me, was trying to get the exposure and really falling in love with it during COVID.
You were recruiting yourself.
Trying to.
Well, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So you just broke the ceiling on the 1,000-pound club. When did you hit the 1,000-pound mark?
Well, it was in high school, so
You hit the 1,000-pound mark 1 year into powerlifting?
yeah. No, I was 6 months.
You were 6 months in.
I just started powerlifting fall of my senior grade 12.
Jeez.
So yeah, and then we had like the mock meet. I didn't actually compete in powerlifting.
Did you get a video of it?
It's on my Instagram. I had
So, did any coach, like when you tagged him in that one, was there any
Nothing.
response to that
No.
one?
It's like 500-pound deadlift for real. Like, yeah, one coach commented, "Nice lift." I was like,
Did you get any response to any tagging of the coaches?
no.
Just
No,
besides
not
nice
really.
lift?
Just no. That's not really, to be honest.
Well,
I'm still trying though. Like,
How long did you like now it's more so, I think, you don't really tag coaches anymore. You just kind of post, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, how long did you go for trying to tag coaches for?
Probably like,
Up until you got to Holland, or
yeah, probably up until I got to Holland, and then taking a little bit break, and then that off season last year I continued tagging a few coaches
Mhm.
and trying to get a little bit more interest and stuff, but
Just see you there sitting at 1 a.m. Why won't you answer me?
yeah, well that was the main sort of reason I got in contact with UOttawa, was I sent out a mass email to all the schools in the OUA at 1-2 in the morning, and they were one of the schools that got back to me the next day and was like, "We really like your tape," and that's sort of how the process started.
well, that's a crazy story.
Well, you're only doing one of two things at 1 or 2 a.m. when you're sending out emails. You're either serious about what you're doing, or you're stoned just having fun.
It's
Well-
pretty serious.
Tyler Newson, powerlifter, internet personality, linebacker, and now UOttawa commit. We wish you the best of luck. But before we let you go, this is the Thunderdome after all, and therefore we got the lightning round. 5 quick questions. Start easy, get a little harder, a little controversy. Anyway, would you rather blitz for a sack or stay in coverage for an interception?
Blitz for a sack. I
Yeah?
want to make the quarterback cry.
Want to be on him like flies on a bumper, eh?
What if
Yeah.
it's is it blitz for a sack or stay in coverage for an interception and run it back for a TD?
Oh, the TD.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I've got to go for points.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, but annoying the quarterback,
Oh yeah.
Got to get in his
Quarterback
face
gotta deal
instead
with
of
it.
picking one
Well,
off.
okay, actually, here's a better one. Blitz for a sack against Tom Brady.
Oh my gosh, I read
Or
these
just-
questions, Juddy. I read
or
these
just
questions.
It's a
random
lightning
team.
round.
Yeah.
It's a lightning round.
You know
Not a,
what?
well,
It was-
what about?
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Anyway, going to
Didn't
powerlifting now, would you rather squat or deadlift on leg day?
Probably. Ooh, that's a good question. Probably squat.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
want to hurt your back.
No.
See, no
sorry.
matter how many belts I try, how many times I brace my core, I can deadlift 10 times, and then my back's thrown out for about, 18 months.
What's the PR on the squat?
On the squat, so I haven't really tested it too much. I don't like testing PRs at all. I just for some reason don't like it. I like building a strong base and
Yeah.
continue working from there. But if I were to guesstimate, probably around 450 probably.
In it for the gains, not for the records.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts still got 200 pounds on you anyway.
Goddamn quarterback.
Born in P.E.I, going to UOttawa, small town living or big city life?
Man, I gotta go with the big city life. I haven't experienced it, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's out there.
We're still P.E.I. humble though, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go.
Got to
It's
be
always
loyal to
home.
your
This is
roots.
always home.
Exactly.
Loyal to the soil,
Islanders don't
boys.
even
Loyal
know.
to the soil. All right. Black and gray tattoos or color tattoos?
Black and gray.
Really?
Yeah.
You can do so much more with color tattoos.
Will be
though.
see any color tattoos? Like, it's
Well, I mean, like he could want some.
Color does fade. I find a bit more, and like I'm not as good as I should be on like protecting them and stuff. So.
True, you turf burn. Yeah. Anyway, our final question here: Waterboy movie with Adam Sandler or this here Waterboyz?
This here Waterboyz, come on now.
Oh, that's what we love
Hometown
to hear.
heroes right here.
That's what we love to hear. Oh, you're making me blush. Making me blush.
But if Adam Sandler wants to come on,
I mean, if Adam Sandler won you in his movie, I'm sure you would pick that one.
It's hard to say no to Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Waterboy 2?
Uncut Gems, the football edition.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Taylor, you want to tell the folks where to find us?
Sure can. So half the time I forget our Instagram handles, boys. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Facebook Waterboyz, right? And then we got on Instagram it's Waterboyz_media or the official Waterboyz podcast. Twitter at WaterboyzPod. YouTube where you're watching us right now. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Yeah, we're good there. And Grant, send the folks home with season 4, episode 1.
Nailed it. First try.